What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again, live for another Tops Talks Transfers show. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a member. The link is in the video description as well. If you want extra perks, you know what to do, guys. Now, let's get into the breaking news. Dropped today, Saturday morning. Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru. Breaking news. Arsenal agreed deal to sign ZubimendI. So let's have a look in terms of what he's actually said in this tweet. 5 hours ago, Arsenal agreed a deal to sign Martin ZubimendI from Real Sociedad. Here we go. Now, if you guys don't know, when Fabrizio Romano normally says here we go, it's normally a done deal. Now, there has been a few caveats with that here we go. Some of the deals, like I think it was Mudryk, and there's other couple ones, Casado as well, to Liverpool. Obviously, didn't happen. A couple of them, when he's done the here we goes a bit prematurely, and have ended up not signing with the club or signing with someone else. But yeah, here we go. And then it says ZubimendI has now verbally agreed to sign a long-term deal. So formal steps must soon follow, with Arsenal triggering the 60 million euro release clause. Zub be ready to become the first signing of the new season. And this is ZubimendI in the Arsenal shirt of this season. So yeah, thoughts on this potential signing. Now, to be honest with you guys, and it's not normally like me, there's a part of me that doesn't really care about this signing. And before, obviously, I explain why, let you guys, you know me, man. I'm a positive guy. I'm normally gassed about, obviously, Arsenal signing new players, etc., etc. But I just feel like this PR spin, which obviously I know what the club's doing here. The club has realized the fallout after Wednesday losing the semi-final of the Champions League, Arsenal being the only top 6 side not to get into a final. They know that this means we need to make sure we're doing things for next season, so people renew their season tickets, people are optimistic for the season. And for me, it's just too soon. I'm still annoyed we didn't win the Champions League and get to the final. I'm still annoyed we didn't win the Premier League, and it was a woeful, shocking display in the Premier League in terms of us actually challenging for it. Because let's be honest, we didn't really challenge for it. We were like 7-8 points behind for the majority of the season. That was including like November, October. We were so far behind, and we've just been far behind for the majority of the season, all the way through the season. Not winning any of the cups, getting knocked out by Man United in a shocking display at home against 10 men, losing to Newcastle 4-0 on aggregate over 2 legs. Bro, all of these things, I'm still thinking about them in my brain, thinking, you know what, this has been an atrocious season. Yes, we've had a few injuries, but I feel like the people have made too much of a bigger deal of those injuries, considering how badly we were playing before these key players got injured anyway. And yeah, for me, it's just this signing or potential signing. And number one, again, I always say as well, I'm not going to believe this until he's holding up the shirt. Everyone could do transfer rumors. Everyone can say this is agreed and that fee's been agreed and stuff like that. Until they're holding up the shirt, you can never be 100% sure they're coming. Do you know what I'm saying? That's one thing. And two, I just feel like it's too soon since we lost the Champions League semi-final for me to be invested in this, because I'm just like, yeah, cool. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, and it'd be a good signing, but I'm just not over the fact that we've had a failure of a season, if I'm being honest with you. So the excitement I would normally have from this season is not met with the same energy. And trust me, I want to be positive, and it would be a good Jorginho replacement. But I just know, number one as well, again, not signed until he's actually holding up the shirt. And more importantly as well, like, we've got a lot of work to do in the summer, man. We've got to get a striker. We've got to get a winger. We've got to get a replacement or a backup for Odegaard. That's 3 positions. We're potentially going to have to get another midfielder if Partey leaves. Obviously, that's still up in the air. That's 4. We need a backup keeper. That's 5. We potentially need a replacement for Raheem Sterling in terms of having a backup for Saka. That's potentially 6. People have even obviously hinted that we might even be in for a backup striker, someone that can obviously deputize for a starting striker if we get. So we potentially could be getting 2 strikers, or a forward player that can play striker and play on the wing. So there's a lot of work to be doing. I mean, I've seen us even being linked with a defender again, because potentially Zinchenko could be off. Tierney's going to Celtic, so that's 2. Kivior still could be sold, so that's 3. So you're looking at it thinking we've got an injury-prone Calafiori, got Lewis Skelly's 18, who, by the way, again, with any kind of teenagers, there will be some injury problems coming because he's playing a lot of games, just like with Ethan, just like with, obviously, Yamal's had a few injury worries this season, even though he's a fantastic player. You're going to get that this season. So we've got to be prepared that Lewis Skelly might not play as many games next season as he has this season, because, again, he's a young teenager. He's still obviously developing in terms of a footballer. It's a lot of games he's been asked to play, start, and play at a high level. We've got to be prepared that he might be in and out the team next season, because, again, no season is linear. No season is the same. Players that are fit this season could be injured next season. Some players that are injured this season could be injured again next season. We don't know. So for me, there's a potential that we could be after another left back, which is extraordinary considering we bought Zinchenko, we bought Kibio, we bought Calafiori, Lewis Skelly's been obviously come through the ranks. That's in the last 3 years. That's 4 different left backs or potential left back, centre backs that we play in that position, and now potentially we're going to get another one. So for me, there's a lot of emphasis in the areas that we've already tried to strengthen in, and there has to be more of an emphasis in the areas that we've not strengthened in at all. Sorry, like striker, like right wing, like left wing, stuff like that. So yeah, man. But like I said, it would be a good signing, but I'm not overly gassed, bro. I can't lie. I'm just not, man. It's just the wrong time. I feel like it's had the reverse effect. The fact that obviously Arsenal planned these kind of PR kind of moves and posts and stuff like that, went to leak certain information. This is apparently it's been done since last summer when we negotiated for Mikel Merino. This was part of the deal that Zubimendi would come the next season. That's why potentially he obviously said no to Liverpool, and he was actually on his way to Arsenal, and we agreed that it would be next season. We take Mourinho this season, you can keep Zubimendi for another year, and then Zubimendi will be the next season. But even that, if that's the case, like, for me, it's had the reverse effect because now it's just made me not be excited for the signing because, again, you've dropped it. And I know what you're doing in terms of you've dropped it because you want to cover or distract people from the fact that we're not going to win another trophy and not in another final. So people, again, can get excited and around we go. But for me, it's just like, whatever, man. I can't lie. It's sad, man, because, like I said, he's a good player, but I'm just not excited. This is obviously David Ornstein. Also pursuing deal to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Also working on to land the 25-year-old midfielder for the summer for some considerable time. Long-term pursuit during the process of recruiting Mikel Merino. So obviously, David Ornstein had said it before. Other news here also are now relaxed about the contract situation of Bukayo Saka, and they're expecting to sign a long-term deal this summer. We'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, I'm glad they're getting on it. Him and Saliba, those deals need to be sewn up really. And even if they are, there is no reason to think that these guys might not want to leave next year. Do you know what I mean? Even if they sign a new deal, they might think, you know what, this is not for me. We're not winning anything. Well, I'm not seeing any kind of progression. You know, it's been 3-4 years. We've been at the top level and not won anything. So yeah, this might be time for me to move on. So that's something you definitely got to absolutely think about as well, man. 100%. But yeah, obviously a lot of Liverpool fans obviously wanted Zubimendi. Looks like they're not going to get him. But at the same time, man, I'm feeling like even if obviously he did go to Liverpool and made their team stronger, we would have to obviously go and try and get another player anyway. Even if we hadn't have got Zubimendi, we would have had to have got 2 players. So from one perspective, it's like, you know what, at least we've, again, quote unquote, say if it's done in question marks, because again, nothing's obviously guaranteed until it's guaranteed, until it's obviously done. But if we do get this over the line, it does save us something to do in the summer because we've got a lot of work to do. Like I said, there is a lot of players we need to sign, man. In terms of left wing, Nico Williams is Arsenal's number 1 priority. He's been seen by the club as an idol to compete for Gabriel Martinelli. If that move becomes impossible, other names on the list are Leao and Gittins. Listen, for me, yeah, again, I've not been overly impressed by Nico Williams personally. Do you know what I'm saying? Not to say goals are everything, because again, a player could be playing very well without scoring a plethora of goals. But the fact he's only getting 2-3 La Liga goals is obviously a worry. Because for me, the key reason why we want to upgrade on Martinelli, because he's not scoring enough, bro. He's scoring 7-8 league goals a season. Do you know what I'm saying? In a normal fit season for Saka, he's getting you 15-16 goals. And then you want your striker to get you 20-25. That's that, bro. You want one winger to get 10-15. You want another winger to possibly get 15-20, and then you want your striker to get 25-30. That's the ideal, because then you've got different players that all have different level in terms of goal scoring rates, but they can always chip in, because the 10-15 your left winger gets, they might be winners against top teams. So he doesn't score that many, but he scores the important goals. But then your Sakas gets your goals against your Bournemouths, your Brentfords, the goals that you need to win the game. He gets those, and then your striker does both. He gets your last minute consolations, or your winners, or your equalizers against the top teams, but then scores against the lower end of the teams, the relegation fodder, etc., etc. And that's the ideal, to be honest with you, if you want to win the league. In my personal opinion, I think Liverpool have had something kind of similar this season. Mo Salah, is their 25-30 goal season striker. Then you've got your 15-20 in Gakpo. Then the others, like your Diaz, is your 10-15. I think that 3 has worked well, because again, Gakpo had a period where he was scoring loads of goals. So did Diaz at the start of the season, and then Salah had just been scoring throughout the entire season. So that's what we need to be able to get. And yeah, for me, Nico Williams is not one of the guys that I'm looking at in terms of I'll be really excited for him to come to the league because I'm not being overly impressed with him. But we'll see if that even happens, man, because there's been a lot of transfer flirting when it goes to players like that for the last 2-3 years. And it's like, are we actually going to get this deal over the line, or is it just a waste of our time? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. This is obviously positive news if it's again true. Also, I've submitted their first official offer worth 75 million euros for Victor Gyökeres. Also, I've already agreed personal terms with the player. That's obviously the rumors coming out today. But again, PR maybe. And again, this is a player that I actually do want. But again, the feeling I get, even if this is true, I'm not overly guys. It's just too early for me, guys. I can't even lie. It's just too early for me to get excited about any of these transfers, man. I'll be real. Also, I've reached an agreement. This is Ben Jacobs. I reached an agreement in principle with Martin Zubimendi to join the club this summer. Also, I've been optimistic for quite some time that Zubimendi will join with the deal. Now they're only waiting the formalization. So yeah, a lot of journalists are actually reporting that Arsenal are going to sign Zubimendi. It's going to be their first transfer of the summer, and it's probably going to be announced maybe the next couple of weeks, maybe end of the month, maybe the end of the season, start of June, maybe it'll be officially announced that he's joining the club, possibly. But yeah, my key thing for this summer is that we just get the signings over the line quickly. I don't want to be haggling and waiting start of August. We haven't got a striker. For me, get Zubimendi in if that's possible. Get the goalkeeper sorted as well. Get a striker in as well. For me, I just want, you know what I want? Like, I want obviously Zubimendi to be sorted. The striker and the winger. ASAP. They should be the first three. Then after that, I'm like, you know what? At least I know next season I've got a new front line. At least it's guaranteed. I got a new one. We've got new players. Now, if that happens, then I'll be a bit more optimistic going into obviously next season. But if we start dilly-dallying and we've not signed this player and we still only got Zubimendi in and it's the 2nd of August, that's when I'll be starting to get concerned because, again, it would just be the same old try. But I don't really have much faith of the club doing what they need to do because, again, there's a lot of times where they don't get over the line. They don't do everything necessary to make sure we actually get the prime plays we need to really compete for the season, man. But again, we've got Burton now, so we'll see what happens with that, man. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's just a quick video. Obviously, Arsenal to Zubimendi. Here we go. Looks like that's going to be confirmed. We'll see if that actually comes across and we see him holding the shirt at the Emirates, playing in the team. In terms of thoughts on the player, very good player. Some people say obviously similar to Jorginho, but with a bit more legs. Obviously, can dictate play from deep, and it's someone that can maybe ease off the pressures in terms of building up play that we do have on someone like a Declan Rice. Maybe that combination and partnership together will be a bit more combative rather than, because I don't know, I might be the only one that thinks this, but I've never thought that Declan Rice and Partey had very good chemistry. They're both very good players on their own, but I feel like Declan Rice had much better chemistry with Jorginho in terms of what type of positions Jorginho used to occupy when Declan Rice was going forward, and vice versa when Jorginho was potentially out of position. Declan Rice used to cover a lot of ground for him to obviously make up the space that was obviously provided with him not being in the correct position. So I think they two as a partnership work a bit better. So maybe that could be a positive, man. And again, some of them, the biggest wins we had last year, the 6-0s, 5-0s, was them two in a pivot. So we'll see how it goes, man. But yeah, that's just a quick video, obviously, on Zubimendi. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, like everything about it. Comment in the comment description as well. You think about the signing, if it's going to improve Arsenal. But yeah, that's me done. Until next time, people, don't hate to play at the game. And I'm out, people. Peace and love.